Hi, everybody. Welcome to this Thanksgiving edition of the Montessori Project. I'm Suzanne Ross. I'm here with my daughter, Emily, the mother of my toddler granddaughter, Grace, who's 2.5. And I wanted to talk with you and with Emily about how to make Thanksgiving a pleasurable experience for toddlers and for parents of toddlers. And little Grace is in a Montessori toddler room, and Emily has been doing Montessori at home, trying to implement some of the strategies of the Montessori classroom at home. So I wanted to have this conversation with her and hopefully get some feedback from you as well for strategies that you're going to be using this Thanksgiving with your toddlers. So Emily, let's start just by talking about what is Grace going to really enjoy about Thanksgiving.
She is going to enjoy the people.
Yeah.
She loves her family. She does love parties. And she's going to enjoy the food because a lot of times we have food on a coffee table, which is right at her height.
Right.
So it seems like it's all set up just for her. So she loves that part of it. And yeah, she's a party girl.
She is.
At heart, once she gets warmed up.
Right. I mean, that's interesting thing about this 2 to 3-year-old age, even a little older. They can be very shy with initially. How do you handle that at the beginning of a party?
It's a little bit awkward, but I let her be who she is at the beginning, and I try and tell my relatives that she will go to them once she's warmed up.
Yes.
And she does. Always the goodbyes are easier. She gives hugs and kisses, and she goes to everyone, and she says, the goodbyes are not a problem. But in the beginning, there's all these people. Everyone wants to say hello and greet her. They haven't seen her for maybe a couple weeks. And so it can be overwhelming.
Yes, for you too.
For me too, because I'm also pregnant, so I'm carrying her, the baby, maybe a bag or something, trying to get in the door, get everything settled, and
everyone's rushing to see her.
Yeah, everyone's rushing. So I try and remind the family that if they give us a moment to get settled, that she will go to them.
Yeah,
and she does. Eventually, she's a ham. She becomes the center. She goes from not wanting to talk to anyone to singing songs for the whole group.
She's so funny.
Yeah.
She'll say, "Wait, everybody, stop!" And then she'll start singing. But it does take that moment at the beginning.
Yes.
And sometimes I know people can feel. I know I did as a young mom. Could feel a little being judged sometimes. It's like, why isn't your child saying, "Hello, Grandma," and being this model of politeness and courtesy.
Right, and they want their kisses and their hugs.
Yeah.
And, and then they pressure me to do it, to get her to do it. But she's 2.5. I really cannot make her do anything she does not want to do.
Right.
She's, and if I do, it's just going to explode. If I try to, it's going to explode into a bad situation. So, I have to I just remind myself that she's my priority and that I'm going to advocate for her and I know what's best for her and that my relatives, they can wait, and I know they will get their hugs and kisses.
Yes, and you just have to reassure them. I think that's one of the wonderful things that Montessori teaches us as parents is just to wait on the child and let them take the lead.
Right, exactly.
Especially in those stressful moments when they're still trying to figure out what's going on. But letting your child take the lead is really critical, I think. And now, but when it comes to the food that's all over, and letting your child take the lead can be a little stressful because they'll go for the nuts or the candy that's out on the table or
that's
whatever.
That's a choking hazard.
Yes, not to mention not nutritious, and it could kill them.
Right.
So how do you handle the food part of it?
Well, I do move a few things out of the way if I have to. I might ask the hostess, or might just move it to the center of the table where she can't reach, or out of her line of sight. if it's a choking hazard.
Yeah.
If it's just kind of unhealthy, I'm going to let it go because this is not the day to stress about nutrition or to make a point about that she has to eat her vegetables or, if she eats all cheese or all crackers or all whatever one thing it is, then that's what it's going to be. And it's more about just letting her be happy. I get to take a break from, having to control everything because, my home, I can control. I don't put things out that I don't want her to eat.
Exactly.
So that's not a problem. We don't get into an argument then. But I'm not going to tell her when there's this huge array of food, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, you can't eat this, you have to only eat, that's just going to cause that's going to cause conflict.
That's so interesting because that's, my project, of course, you well know, the intersection of Montessori and mimetic theory. And desire is stimulated by seeing what other people desire. And when everything's in front of you and other people are reaching and grabbing and eating, to tell your child that they can't do it, as when they're 2.5, that's why, as you say, the home environment, you can control it, and you don't put that stimulus in front of her.
Right.
To excite her desire.
Right. Like, as if I want her to eat dinner, I'm not going to let her load up on cheese and crackers and appetizers and dips and things. And on a normal day, she eats her dinner fine
absolutely,
and everything. So
so there's that. It's futile, in other words, to try and
it is at a
have
party.
that fight at a party is crazy.
Yeah, on a holiday with the family, there's just
but there will be people saying, "Are you letting her eat all that? It's going to spoil her dinner." Well-meaning people,
right?
And so,
and the comments about what she's eating and not eating. And you just have to let it roll off your back. Just remind yourself you had a plan, and this is the plan to let her eat whatever's out there.
Right.
And
you just go with it. So what do you do about naps, though? Because toddlers are still really needing good sleep and good naps.
Which is difficult because Thanksgiving's an all-day type of affair. It's our party starting in the early afternoon and goes, through dinner. And so that's right during nap time. So what I'm going to try and do is get her an early nap and then go to the party a little bit late.
Go late. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to adapt. I'm going to do what is good for her. Which is another thing I was with the entering the party is a lot of times she has just woken up. And I've tried to get her out the door as fast as possible.
Right.
She's half asleep. And then there's this onslaught of people. So she's particularly clingy.
She's
just going back to that.
Up.
She's just waking up. So that's another reason why she needs more time to warm up.
Sure. Well, I think people understand that too. If you say, "Oh, well, she just woke up," people seem to... That they know.
You're right. That is, I have said that that is more helpful. Even if they haven't just woke up, you should say that.
You can use that. It's a good strategy, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else about Thanksgiving that you're particularly concerned about or that you're anticipating?
Well, dinner time, because everyone sits down to eat, and as we're talking about, she's probably going to eat a lot of appetizers. She's not going to sit down.
No.
For as long as she would at home. And so I'm just going to let her do what she's going to do. She's going to want to come to the table for a minute to see what's going on, and she's going to maybe have a few bites. But not only will she have eaten appetizers, but she's so excited at parties.
Yes, she is.
She's so excited that...
And cousins are there, and she just... she gets very excited.
So she's not going to sit still as long or eat as much as she does at home.
So that brings up the question of when you want her to nap before the party, do you tell her, "Oh, and after you wake up, we're going to a party"? No. You don't mention it.
I try not to mention it.
Yes.
Not right before, anyway.
No.
We usually don't mention it.
Because then that's the nap will be out the window.
Yeah. I mean, you could, maybe the day before, we can talk about that there's going to be a party the next day and, things like that. But I try not to do it right before the nap, not
Right.
talk about it, or else she'll be too excited.
Yeah.
And
you have to act like nothing unusual is happening to you today.
Right. Except for that we're having early nap.
Oh, luckily she can't tell time yet.
Right. Exactly.
So
that
that's
is an
good.
advantage.
Well, good. Thanks, Emily, for sharing that with everybody. And I know that people watching that have toddlers will have their own strategies or things that they're worried about going wrong. Some people have to travel, and travel is a whole other issue.
Right.
So if you have any tips or advice you'd like to share with us, we would love to hear them. And we wish everybody a wonderful Thanksgiving, especially your little ones.
Yes. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.